Hello there, this is Dr. Barbara Young, Total Woman Show, and I'm here with a fabulous four.
All right.
Counting myself included, Dr. Barbara Young.
Yours truly.
Look, you know what? I was so excited. I had to have the four of them stay, and so you could listen to this and hear this. The road trip was a road trip in an RV. All over the United States with Dr. Carol Soloway and her husband, Reverend Wayne.
No, I thought you were going to knight him. I thought you were going to knight him.
That's so precious.
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
The man who pursued her because she wanted a Prince Charming, and he showed up to meet her with slippers.
Wasn't that nice?
Wasn't that nice? Although they were from
Kmart. But
Kmart, but they were
Yeah.
who cares? They were slippers.
That's right.
I'm not going to tell you what I want because it might happen.
But you don't want it from Kmart.
No.
But that's just the beginning.
But really, Carol, with the book, we had talked a couple of weeks ago about your book, Gracie's Gone, and I just had to captivate you and say, stay for telling us about this road trip. I mean, that must have been really fun. Now, I was on the RV, and it wasn't just any RV. This is luxury.
Yes.
Luxury.
Okay.
And you said queen size beds. It looked big to me. Looked like queen size. Looked like king size. I mean, big screen television. I mean, a couch.
We didn't turn the TV on.
And I saw a
Really? Wow.
I figured as much. I figured as much. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. That's okay. But you headed out to Phoenix first. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes,
and then
Tucson.
from Tucson area to. So what was it like being on the road and being able to meet all these interesting people and be on these different shows? Share a little bit of your experience.
It was really fabulous. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that all professional women have a thread.
Really?
That they all have this unbelievable drive.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And I could see
Do
it.
I
It
have
didn't
it?
matter.
Do I
Yes,
have
you
it?
do, dear.
I do.
Oh my God. Yes.
Well, but while I was gone, you know who was the president in my stead of IAW?
Well, that's
And I
because
felt like I could.
she twisted.
It was
my
great.
arm.
She did good.
She did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so we went from Phoenix, Tucson, all the way across to Florida, then all the way up to Vermont.
Wow. Vermont.
I told my husband he now has a new career. He could be a bus driver. Next time,
Next time.
he thinks he can even take the bridge across to Key West.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Whoa.
and my sister, the one who was
From Mars.
from Mars, is going to meet us there. But yeah, it was wonderful. But strong women throughout the country really have this same unshakable, that's what I call it, unshakable drive to succeed, to help the others as they're moving. And I spoke at a lot of women chapters.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was thinking it was just IAW.
Oh no, mostly women.
women. Oh, they are great. But
Yes.
I mean, these women are extraordinary from what I experienced last year in Dallas. There must have been 800 women there last year.
Wow.
And I met
1,000 or
women,
more.
maybe, you're right, maybe 1,000, but I met women and they were so friendly, so accepting and so warm, and I really thought they were great.
Oh yeah, 1 week I did Orlando, Tampa, and West Palm. In 1 week.
Whoa!
And 1 week.
Now, do they have large chapters? Are there a lot of women that come out?
No, some were very small.
Okay.
But it all depends really on the managing director. I found.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Well, of course, it always is the leadership that's able to draw. What do you think is needed for most of the women? What do you think is going on? We have this, we keep talking about the Me Too movement. I don't know if that's kind of moving passe, but women are coming to the forefront more and more, getting jobs in industry, high profile jobs. And yet there is still a downside, because I know there are a lot of women that are not succeeding. What did you find from your experiences with with the E-Women? Were they able to share, even though you're talking about Gracie's gone, but I know
No,
that...
I was talking about empowerment. I was talking about one key to victory.
Okay, one key to victory.
We want to share one key to victory?
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know, I want to share one key to victory.
Okay.
Is knowing who you are and knowing that who you're not.
And what we're doing with it, I know.
And what we're doing, we're co-writing a book called 1 Minute to Victory.
One key.
One key, I should say, I always say 1 minute because maybe for me it was a minute. But one key to victory with Dr. Carol Soloway, Dr. Cecile Lacalco, and Dr. Barbara Young. It's really interesting that we're all, and we hope to have this book out.
Oh, wow, that was a moment of silence.
We are working on it, and we plan to have it out really we should have it out by the end of the year.
Yes,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
Yeah, probably by the end of the year.
Very powerful one. Y'all
Right.
should have no.
But empowerment is such a big word. What does empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment to me means being willing to do whatever it takes. But I'm going to quote Churchill,
All right.
who said that the key to success is to go from failure to failure with
Absolutely.
equal enthusiasm.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's not giving up. It's just
Never-
going
never give
for
up.
right. Just
Never.
going for it. And that's what I think, that when we believe in ourselves. And the other thing I would say is when we let our failures slip off us like Velcro, and we hold our success, slip off us like Teflon, and we hold our successes like Velcro.
I like that.
I like that too.
Because so often we fixate, I know I do.
Yes.
I mean, I hope I'm not alone. We fixate on our failures.
Yes.
Well, we also fixate too, what I say, and I've said this so many times, fixate on our past. And we're carrying the baggages and we're carrying the past.
Absolutely.
And actually, when you think about it, I've used the car analogy. The car has a very small rear view mirror, but the windshield is larger. So rather than looking in the windshield where we're going, we're so busy carrying the past and thinking of what we didn't do, what I should have said, and it's like leaving that behind, and it takes
Right.
courage and it takes work, and it has to say, I'm going forward. I have a future. I know I am successful because words have power.
Yes.
And you can't go forward with one
And the
foot on
book
the gas,
says
one
the
foot on
power
the
of
brake.
life and death is in the tongue. So the words you speak are prophetic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very
They really
strong.
are. You speak your own success into its existence.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So I speak it. I'm successful.
Call it in.
Right.
And you have to feel like I'm unique and make no apologies.
Yeah. You know,
Why do
No
you always have to
apologies.
excuse? Oh, you're so beautiful. Well, that
I
dress-
know, but I bought it a long time ago,
but
right.
but my hair is a mess
just
today.
say
Oh my
be thankful
God.
and say
Well,
yes.
that's what we do.
Receive it.
But you know what else we do? But what else we do that's so interesting is, you tell a man nice shoes and he'll go, You tell a woman nice shoes, she'll tell you where she bought it, what goes with it.
And how much you paid
These are
for it,
Jimmy
everything.
Choos and see the red hair, see the
Yes.
red hair.
I said that for Dr. Barbara.
But I was going to comment on the failure part. Failure is very powerful. You should study. Well, I know you probably do, but the failures of other people helps you not have to repeat it. But it's a very good blueprint because most of the time people have their breakthroughs right at the moment they get ready to give up. They get, like the woman that did Harry Potter. She had to type it out by hand. I mean, just horrific stories that you probably wouldn't even want to go through. But then,
I'll tell you what I did with my book.
What?
I made
Go
my
ahead.
husband promise that we would move, go to a new community, because I would be so embarrassed in case it
Didn't.
Book didn't
See, there you go. That's a fear, but it was real.
he
just
agreed
went
to
past
move,
it. He
but,
did.
but he wasn't going to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really good.
But I think I wrote this in my book, and it wasn't coined by me, certainly. Fear is false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
And so oftentimes it is our fears that prevent us from moving forward. And so confronting the fear, and I'm not saying that it's easy to do.
It's not.
And I can genuinely tell you, I never thought I'd be in radio and television. Anybody can tell you that. If anybody had said I'd be in radio and television, I'd said, you're out of your mind. That is not my forte. That's
No, it is your forte.
But you are really good at it.
well, thank you very much. But I didn't feel that way, and I cried every Tuesday morning that I had to be on radio because I didn't like my radio voice, and I didn't like my radio voice voice, and my children can attest. They say, "Mother, get a grip," because I would be crying. It's Tuesday, I gotta be on time. Because when you have been a speaker, as you have, all of you, you've been on stage, you're playing to the energy of the crowd.
Yes.
Right.
And oftentimes, if you're playing to a very demonstrative crowd and you're speaking, and you're seeing nods of
it keeps you
affirmation,
going.
or you're saying, "Right on, girl,"
Right.
and depending on the group that you're talking to, that sister, say it.
Right,
you know.
right.
But when you have earphones on and you have somebody on the other end of the line, you have nothing to give you feedback. So here's where you have to internally find that core, that center, to be enthusiastic and to listen. So it is a skill set that I had to learn, because it's listening to the other person,
Yes.
not framing your response,
Right,
but
right,
really listening
Yes.
to, and then asking the right questions.
Yes. And sometimes you go off script, but it's the natural flow of where the conversation needs to go instead of abruptly getting back on.
I have to
It's
admit,
awesome.
I love stopping people and taking them back and saying, "Well, let's go back,
You sure
because
do.
I heard you say,"
Yes.
and are making the correlation to,
Yes.
well, this happened possibly because your father said
Right.
you'd never be a
Wow.
musician. However, your mother bought you a guitar. And he said, this person I was talking to had never made that connection.
It only takes one person to make that change, because I in my first marriage, and just being very directly, he said I could not survive without him. And I was in another state. We was there for just a weekend, and I wound up staying there and had a job the next day. But I was in my 20s, so that the power of empowerment, being at that age, realizing that if I had to listen to that person, I would probably be in a way that I would.
But you, Linda, you bring up a very good point.
Yeah, and you have to
You bring up
accept
a
what
good
you
point.
hear.
You bring up another good point that I have shared. I hope you don't mind me sharing this. That some people are empowered by someone telling you what you are not, or what you cannot do.
Absolutely.
And others internalize that and don't do.
Exactly.
So I have to
I'm going
admire
to show you, and they
for saying that, because
Yes.
it's interesting what
That's very
provokes one
Yep,
will
right.
spark another one to
Exactly.
success.
And
So when he said that, something in you
I
said,
didn't go back. We was
just
there for-
watch my stage.
Right. We supposed to be back that weekend. I didn't go back. I didn't go back. I left house. I left husband. I left and stayed and worked and had a job the next day. So the positive of that just changed my whole life as a person.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. So I've been going the high step ever since.
Good for you. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, we all have our experiences to share. They're not uniquely ours to own, but to share with the world. And to let people know that we too have gone through things. And this whole notion of empowerment is really what I feel a sense of helping other women and men. I'm not leaving out your men, so don't write me any nasty letters. I love men. I love them. I do. I truly do. And I know men need help too.
Well, I want to go back to what you said.
Yes.
The more personal, the more universal.
Absolutely. I like that.
great. I like that.
That's what I said.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
So we all are uniquely here to not to occupy space. And someone said, I said, you were sent here on a mission. You forgot where you came from. Because when we got into these human bodies, they became so good. We like the food, we like sex, we like a whole lot of stuff. That we actually forgot the original intent of what we were here for. So some of us kind of went sidetracked before we came back to realize my purpose was to be able to help you. I was going through experiences, not mine to share, nor yours, but to write a book later that would encourage and help so many women.
Yes.
It wasn't to be defeated. Same thing with you.
Yes.
Everything you've gone through. You said, all right, I'll tell you a story.
Step over.
You won't print my article.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start my own damn magazine. Now, I don't usually swear, but I just had to put a little emphasis on that. You won't let me write my article, you won't accept it, I'll start my own magazine, and that she did. So, different things motivate and drive people. So for those of you who are listening today, I hope you've been encouraged that there's nothing that you can't do. If you just believe in yourself. This woman is in her 70s. I don't mind saying that. She's 50 and but mind.
You don't mind, thank you.
Yes.
Are you in your 70s?
Yes, dear.
Oh my God. I told the truth.
Okay.
Don't you look at me out there, because I'm 81 and I'm glad about it. I'm glad about it. And thankful every day that I live life.
Yes.
And I'm able to be vibrant, alive, and kicking.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah.
Somebody this morning didn't get up.
Absolutely.
This is Sunday afternoon, and there's someone who actually lost a mom or a father or a child or somebody. So we want to just say a prayer for all of you out there who may be going through some things, but knowing that there is a God and that He sees and knows everything, and that you will trust and believe, and it will happen for you. God can turn anything around.
Yes,
I am a witness.
Yes.
I would not be here had it not been for Him. So I want to say to all of you out there, thank you so much for listening and tuning in to the Total Woman Show. But more importantly, call your friends and tell them, have a little sip with Dr. Young, and this is water, okay?
Mine isn't, no, mine's water.
Well, it's clear.
So have a little sip with Dr. Barbara Young. But, one of the things I'd love for you to do is to write info@transformationforsuccess.com if you have questions, if you have suggestions, topics you'd like for us to share. Please send your questions. Write anything, really.
Well, not anything.
Well, not anything, she's saying. But you can share your views about the show or the shows that you've seen. And so you're on voiceamericatv.com and Transformation Success TV. I want you to watch the shows because we got a lot more coming. Yes. I am so excited. I really am. We got so much coming. Yes. For example, in August, we have 4 shows coming. We're going to talk about leadership, and we have 2 women who are going to come and share how they're working out leadership. Very fascinating topic, very fascinating women that are going to be on the show. We have another young woman who's flying in from UK, and she's going to talk about how to heal, thrive, and survive sexual trauma. You don't want to miss those 2 shows. And here's Sarah Griffith's story. I have several women who will be joining her that day on August 16th. We're going to shoot that show, and we're going to talk about healing and thriving and surviving after some horrendous things that women have experienced. And so I know out there around the globe, we all have had our troubles, we've all had our trials, but there's help on the way. And there's always help when you listen to other women's stories.
Absolutely.
And they're able to share and be transparent. And I am so happy that women are now coming forward and being able to be transparent and share their stories and point that finger at that accuser, point that finger at someone who's hurt you, but forgive them, because you got to forgive in order to move on. I will tell you that.
Absolutely.
You must forgive.
Always.
Well, I don't know if you have to point your finger at the no. I mean, at the abuser or what have you. If you can mentally forgive and move on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, when I say point the finger, I didn't exactly mean pointing a finger, but I think one has to acknowledge that there has been a perpetrator, there has been somebody that's hurt me, and I need to forgive and let that person go, for me to be free. I'm telling you, I'm not going to let somebody else walk around in my mind and imprison me.
No.
Never.
But that's what you do.
But some of us have done it.
For
years before we owned who we are.
Right.
I mean,
absolutely.
And sometimes it takes us time to own who we are. It takes, sometimes we go into a change of life before we realize that we need to make a change.
I want to tell you something. You're constantly doing it. Because you don't ever arrive. Because if something can happen to any of us tomorrow, and it just shakes us to our very core, and you thought, where did that come from? Because I thought I'd already gone over that. I've been over that. And then it sort of, oh my goodness. So it's constantly, for me, constantly growing every day, and being open, to new ideas, new things. But also, when things happen, rewrite the script.
Always.
Oh, that's good.
Rewrite the script. Yes. Woo.
That's life.
I love it.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's right.
I remember I didn't ask to be born in the town I was born in. I didn't ask to be born on that very day. I didn't even be asked to be born to the parents that I got. I didn't ask to be born with the hair, the skin color, or anything. But one thing I was born with, and that was the power to choose. And I chose to be better and not bitter. And that is what I learned very early.
That's very awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Again, that's that radio side coming in and listening and the viewing. But thank you very much.
Well, they
for
should
viewing.
listen.
Yes.
And listen, because we've shared our hearts
We shut up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
today.
We have, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you want to write a book, write one.
You can.
You can. If you want to write an article or blog, people are blogging. We are moving into the digital age. It is here. And it's going to be more coming. And so one of the things that we need to be aware of, so for those of you who are senior citizens, get on with it. Don't be afraid. Embrace technology. You know, learn how, have somebody help you. There are people out there that can help you navigate this process. Because if not, you're going to be left behind, sweetie. You're going to be left behind.
Your grandkids. Your grandkids.
Your grandkids can help you. So anyway, I just wanted to put that plug in today.
Yes.
You know, so Carol, you went to Vermont, and you went from
spoke at
Tucson, and you went to, and you talked to e-women, and you found some commonalities that you shared about the e-women and just professional business women that you found.
Right.
That
They've got drive.
They've got drive.
And it was just like being at our IEW or our e-women chapter.
Oh,
It was
wow.
just so, it was like home.
Okay.
Wow.
In
Wonderful.
every place.
Wow.
Okay.
And they were so welcoming. It was one, and some of the testimony, I mean, it was just wonderful
Oh, that's
to have
great.
spoken
That's
and to
great.
have had.
That's great.
But I will tell you this, even though I was there and I spoke about Gracie's Gone, which was my novel, I brought some Sex Happens. They were fighting over the sex.
Oh my God!
And I mean, they did buy the Gracie's Gone. I'm not
Yeah, but they were
complaining,
fighting over- fighting over Sex Happens.
I didn't have
Curiosity
enough.
of
I
that
didn't have
book.
enough of those at every single stop.
Did you have to order
Wow.
more?
Actually, I did run out. I don't have. I have, I think, 4 copies at home
Are you
of Gracie's
kidding?
Gone.
Oh, wow.
And we will order, but mostly. As a matter of fact, once I spoke, and this lady took out her cell phone, and you know, as a speaker. Oh my God, and I just looked at her. I didn't intend on it, and she said, "I'm ordering your book." I said, "Okay."
Yeah, because somebody
Because,
puts out
you
their
know,
cell
somebody
phone, you're
takes out their
speaking, you
cell phone.
thought, wow.
They're
And
copying.
well, I thought maybe she was recording, no. And, but it was just so amazing to go
is.
from Tucson to
Vermont.
to, you know, it was just the
Wonderful.
commonality.
Now, how many states did you cover?
I think we covered, I don't even
You
know.
didn't count up, huh?
No, I didn't count up. I just counted up the speaking engagements on TV. And there were about 10 states that we went to, and probably 14 speaking engagements.
Wow.
by AW
Wow.
women.
Wow. Yeah, right.
And a lot of
That's
TV.
great. Now,
was
were you
great.
speaking on the book, or you were speaking on empowerment and how?
I was speaking on One Key to Victory, and I was telling my story, and kind of showing the people that when you lose everything, because I had lost everything. I mean, I had
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah.
and you know, I sold my house,
Right.
and that was how I put the money into my practice.
Okay.
I had absolutely. You go to the bank and ask for a loan, they laugh at you. I mean, yeah, right.
Right.
And I put that money into the practice. I had enough for 4 months. That was it. And made it. Today, my son is running that practice while I do the medical legal, and my
Wonderful.
grandson is in chiropractic school.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think that's
it's
awesome.
great.
What a legacy.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
it goes to show you, you know, that fight was not for nothing. And you pursued in spite of, you know, the odds that may have seen and would have beaten down most,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
and has beaten down a lot
Well,
of women.
I was close to giving. I mean, I call it the 11th hour.
Right.
I mean, I was done. My children, when that door slammed, and my children left. I can sort of. I was done.
But you know, it's
I thought,
interesting
There's
that
no
they're back.
reason
You know,
to
I
go
met
on.
met one of your sons, and it's interesting they're still with you today, even though, you know, they left. They made a choice years ago. Have they ever talked about that?
Yes, my youngest son just asked me, and he said, "You know, you've never apologized to me for not fighting for us."
Isn't that
42.
amazing?
I said,
what do you
fighting
mean?
for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even have a divorce attorney. I signed the document that their
Without
father
even
gave me.
questioning.
Without any
Yeah.
questions.
Because, and
The
it
trauma
said,
of
it
it
said
all.
at 13 they could each decide, and the older one decided, and the second one said he's going with him, and but carrying it that, and we had a discussion.
Oh, that's something.
That's such a different perspective that it would flip like that, because you would thinking, why did you guys go? And they're thinking, why didn't you fight for me?
It's a psychological thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they figured that mom didn't want them because mom is divorcing dad.
I don't know if I don't think the older two have even
they
thought
never
about
thought,
it.
but the younger one did.
Yeah.
And I can understand that in a sense because he's too young to understand. Just like this 5-year-old traumatized by what he saw. He's traumatized by the fact that the two of you getting divorced. He doesn't know why.
Right. And
No one explained to him why.
Right.
And so,
Oh no, I was a basket case. I mean,
Right.
I was going through finishing chiropractic college. I had nothing in my name.
Isn't it hard?
Nothing.
The timing was.
And we had just moved to California,
Timing was.
so I knew no one.
so if you had just moved to California, then he must have picked up this woman right away.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're on TV or what have you.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
absolutely right.
I don't know
Right.
what happened.
Right, you do not.
So-
No, right. But that's interesting that the son would say, so how did you respond?
I just explained that this is what happened. I was in a state. I was totally in the gutter, and I even, suicidal. Really, I was, done.
Wow, Carol.
And that was it. And there was no
How old was he?
thought. He 13,
9?
11, and about 5.
He was 5.
No, 6.
He had no.
That's almost the same
Yeah, he didn't
age
have an idea.
as Matthew.
Yeah.
I mean-
which is a very impressionable
Yes.
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
Yes.
Thrilling experience to have you go across the country. Now, do you plan to go again?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Carol, for all these insightful sharings we've had today.
Yes.
So anybody else for the good of the order? Otherwise, we're going to close the show, and thank you so much. That ends it and wraps it up for today. But we'll be back another day with the Total Woman Show. Thank you. God bless all of you. Yay! We got that trip.